Hey, it's Jen of Vegan Adventures of Jana and Jen, and yeah, apologizing for the hair thing that's happening, but I'm just back from the gym. Ran a 5K this morning, and I'm prepping some food for today, and I thought I would take you guys with me because people are like, what do you eat in a day? All this other kind of stuff. So right now, I'm actually getting Gene's salad ready because he eats a big salad before he eats his dinner every night. For him, he feels it's really important that he gets those greens in. I've got some spinach here for him too. So I want to talk a little bit about a question I received from a friend of mine. And what's funny, I'm not going to mention her name because not everybody likes that. So she actually is a friend of my mom's, and she's really cool, and I like her. And so I friended her on Facebook, and we've been friends like for a few years now. And I love that. And she actually sent me a message and said, like, I have kids and a husband. You know, I want to do what you do, but what am I going to feed them? And I'm like, it's really like, it's so freaking easy, I can't even tell you. Because you're not eating like a bunch of weird ass food. You know, you're not eating like, you're not going to feed them like spirulina shakes for dinner because nobody wants that shit, you know? Nobody does. When you're like fine tuning and you're like able to like chant and like, feel like my friend Jack, like meditate on a mountain and stuff, because Jack, Raw Tropical Living, check him out. And Tanny probably knows about spirulina too. But when you're like, you're doing that kind of thing, do the spirulina. But when you've got a family that eats like, you know, Americanized food, you can't give them weird shit like that because they're not going to eat it. When you're like all, I'm fine-tuning my body and I'm meditating, I'm all zen, you can throw that spirulina in there and you could go nuts with it. But to just get your family eating healthier, this is a really great way. So I make Gene's salad ahead of time, and I make all my food up in the morning. I have a really, really busy day in the salon today, so I do not have a lot of time to make and eat food and like and worry about it. And that's the other thing with the way that I eat, you never worry about like what you're gonna eat. You're never like, oh my god, I'm gonna be starving, oh no, I'm gonna, you know, I'm not gonna have anything to eat, I'm gonna be so hungry. You just don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. Now the one thing I will tell you is your family is going to want to eat your food, and if you're like me, you don't share your food. I don't share my food. Because I don't want to be hungry. People that have, women, girls, all of us that have spent their lives dieting and worrying about, you know, being fat and not being fat and being anorexic and bulimic and whatever their problems we've all had, because I don't know one woman who hasn't gone through something like that. There are a handful of them. I just don't know any of them. Being a hairdresser for all these years, I know a lot of women. So, anyways, I don't like to share my food. So what I do is I take care of myself first, which is a foreign concept to all mother people, because we are the nourishers, the love people. We make sure our families got their lunch and their dinner and all their stuff and their snacks and blah, blah, blah. You take care of yourself first, but I'm telling you, double what you are making for yourself because your family will start eating it. And I'm going to show you what I have made for myself for today. Right now, hold on, let me grab my tea. I am having my tea because I do fasted cardio, and I also don't eat until like 10 or 12 in the daytime, and I only eat in usually about a 7-hour window. So I have my tea, queen of everything. And what is this? This is Bigelow French Vanilla. It is not caffeine free. In the afternoon, I only drink caffeine free tea. I don't even drink caffeinated tea most of the time, but I like this flavor. So grab your cup of tea and we'll chat. This is what I have to eat for today. You can see we've got, oh, I should unplug this. It gets mad when you record while you're plugged in. Okay. I have got celery and carrots. In here is Wegmans sweet chili sauce and some regular mustard. Here I have 2 seedless cucumbers, the big English cucumbers, and some snow peas. This is my potatoes for the day. You can cut up your sweet potatoes into fries. They're on parchment paper. And then usually I do cauliflower roasted on top of them. But I'm out of cauliflower, which is horrendous. So I don't have any cauliflower. So I tried doing my broccoli and Brussels sprouts on top, and they were really, really good. I do this also. I take my salt and I do one of these. So if you don't like that, that's okay. I just like salt. I cut these into large wedges and I put them on the rack in the oven. But if I do them too early, they get like funny. You know how potatoes get funny? Like they get kind of dark looking and weird. So right before I put them in the oven, I chop them into like 4 or 8. Like this one will be like 4, but this one will be like 8 large wedges. And I put them right on the rack next to this. So that's what I have to eat for for today, which is a lot of food. And I'll take you over here, and I will show you. This is the sauce that I like to dip my carrots and celery in. And I just have plain old mustard right there. And the other sauce I like, if you do cucumber noodles, this stuff just rocks the house. It's really, really good. There's no fat, no oil in it, in either one of those. And you can see my potatoes are down here. I've got, today's Tuesday, so I've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I have a bunch of potatoes with me. But you can see, I have them ready to go. These are my potatoes. This is what I've got today for my starch. If you're cooking for family, buy a separate bag of potatoes and leave them in the cupboard or whatever. And actually, that's what I do for Gene. Up here, I have a separate bag of them. Oops, here we go. And I will bake his potato today because what I do with it is put it in the air fryer the next day. So he doesn't like eat baked potatoes that much, but I'll bake I buy the separate bag for him. This is a separate bag of like 5 pounds of big russet baking potatoes, and I stab it. This would be a good thumbnail. And then I bake this in the back of the oven so as not to be confused with my potatoes, and I leave it over here on the counter. I leave it up here once it's all baked, and the next morning I break it up and I put it in the air fryer, and that's really good. If you think you might like your potatoes that way, then bake your white ones the night before, and hold on one sec, and then put them in the air fryer later because you might really like how that tastes. Yes?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I was just doing a what I eat in a day video. Would you like to say anything? Gene says hi.
From the bathroom.
That's okay. People shower.
I was going to say, when do you think you could give me a haircut?
I will be in the salon all day today, which I just mentioned. So, whenever you want. I can do it when I'm done with this video if you'd like.
If you've got time.
So you can feel fancy today while you're working.
If you've got time, that'd be
I have always got time for you, sweetie pie. Love of my life. I'm going to do a what I eat in a day video for Gene someday, because then you guys can really see like what's going on here. Because that's serious. What he eats in a day is serious. So that you saw what I'm going to eat today. Like, I'm going to eat all of this stuff minus that potato over there because that's Gene's. But this stuff is all mine. And if I'm hungry and I want more non-starchy vegetables, I won't be able to eat all of these. I can tell you that. I'll probably, yesterday I had a lot of these, so I'll probably eat these first today. And I do put a little salt on them because I like them with the salt. But I'll probably eat these first today. If I'm hungry, I'll eat some of these. But I think usually I eat one or the other. But if I'm hungry, I'll eat both. It doesn't matter, especially because I ran today. And then tonight, I will take a handful of blueberries and I'll throw them in the Ninja. And I usually put in like a mandarin orange or a plum if I have them, because it gives you use like a good size handful. That's awesome, honey. Use a good size handful of these and throw in a mandarin orange or two, or you can throw in some mango, which I love, and zoom it around so it's liquidy. And then I do three frozen bananas. That's it. And you can use 4 frozen bananas if you want, or you can substitute some bananas for some mango. Like if you put a whole mango in there, maybe only use 1.5 frozen bananas. It's like really simple. If you don't have blueberries, I like cherries in there. I like it because it makes the ice cream pink, and it gives it a really good taste. So that's what I'll be eating today. I do have to put, hi sweetie.
Salty.
Oh, I ran today, yeah. Super sweaty. So I'm going to finish up, very sexy and all that. So I'm going to finish up Gene's salad. He only can commit to like 7 or 8 carrots on his salad because that's just how he feels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is really little. So what I do sometimes when I have a really small one like this is I stab it like down in the center and like make it like it's a decoration, but I really think I'm fooling him into like eating this. So there's Gene's salad for today. And he's going to have, for dinner, he's going to have a big thing of rice. And let's say I was out of potatoes, or I don't know, potatoes bother me, or I don't want to eat them, or my family's having rice and I want to have that. I would look and see how many bags I'm dividing my stuff into. And if I'm having 730 calories of starch, which is what I'm having right now. Like, hold on, let me show you. My bag of potatoes right now is 730 calories of starch. Like, I am not starving myself. I have 3 big sweet potatoes and then 3 smaller white potatoes. Today I have a big white potato and a small one. I just divide them up, and there was a video earlier where I show you exactly how I divide them up. This Saturday or Sunday I moved to 14 bags, so I'm actually excited about that. And if you do 2 cycles of each amount of bags, you don't feel like you're being deprived. So don't try to do this really fast and go 10 bags and 11 bags and 12 bags. Do it the 2 cycles of each thing, because you don't want to lose. Like, the only reason that I lost 9 pounds in May was because I quit drinking. If you lose 2 pounds a month, that's way better, because you can actually keep it off. And you have a lifestyle that you're doing, and you're not starving all the time. So anyways, these little tomatoes come from Wegmans. They're called Campari tomatoes. They're really, really good. I will cut a few of these up sometimes and have a couple of those during the day too. So, but you can see I buy, Wegmans has got the celery sticks or whatever. So you have no reason to be hungry and no reason to starve yourself. I mean, don't I eat like a lot of food? Volume-wise.
Yeah. She always tells me that when she was younger, because a lot of women want to, stay thin, they starve themselves. And you eat constantly, and, look how smoking hot she is. So there you have it.
Aww. We will do a what Jean eats in a day video, because it's epic.
It's not that much.
It's a lot. But anyway, my whole point of saying this was, like, all the stuff that I made up for myself to eat today, you can make this all up for you, and then just, if you know your family's going to like the broccoli or they're going to like the sweet potato fries, make up more of those. Bake more potatoes. Do that kind of stuff. Have more of those vegetables cut up, because your kids will steal them. If that stuff is ready to go in the fridge and they have to either toast or make or cook something, they won't do it. They'll take your vegetables and eat them. So, just as an FYI, make up your own stuff and sometimes I'll have my own little spot in the fridge where, like, all my stuff is residing. So keep your stuff in one little area and know that this is my food for today. And if you're hungry, you can always have more.
And if your kids like to dip stuff, vegan ranch.
He said that's really good.
I eat this every night on my salad. It is phenomenal.
I never was a big ranch fan, but I did taste it when he got it, and it's
just
good.
Ranch.
It's really good.
Yeah,
it does not taste chemical laden and weird. And
no. And you'll get a vegetable plate from, like, the grocery store where they have the carrots and the broccoli and the celery and all that, and then they put the Marie's ranch in the middle. Use this instead. And if your kids like that, they'll eat carrots forever. This stuff is phenomenal.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're a mom who's, like, really, really freaking busy and you've got a bunch of kids running around your house and whatever, I know it's a little more expensive, but you could buy the big made-up vegetable tray for like $15. It's huge. And instead of the ranch in the middle, ask them to put hummus in there. We've done that. And that way, if you have a really busy day and your kids are going to be hungry and needing you all day, like, they always need you. They're hungry, they want things.
Mommy, honestly, I love you.
Now that we have, like, the empty house, I do kind of miss that. I used to use the little sectioned plates and put the little carrots in the one,
You miss that?
A little bit.
Is that when you're calling them curtain climbing...
Crumb snatching
rugrats? Is that when the love is being shown?
You know that I miss them.
There.
There is a bee out there. But anyways, it's much easier to have that stuff on hand. But definitely make up all your stuff and then make a couple extra things for them to eat. And let them know, hey, if you want this stuff, it's up for grabs. And if they don't eat it that day, move it to your side the next day. So you have less prep to do. But if you go to, like, a family thing, bring some of this stuff to roast in the oven or whatever. But
eat before you go. That's the other thing. Eat a ton before you go.
Bring enough to share with other people, because other people will want to eat your food and you will be hungry and you won't like it. Plus, it isn't like, oh, what are you eating? Oh, are you just going to have potatoes? Oh, are you just going to have salad? This way, if you bring something to share, you're under the radar. You aren't, like, sitting in the corner crying and eating lettuce alone. You've brought a big thing to share with everybody. You know how much of it you're going to eat, and then whatever you don't eat, you take home with you. There you have it. So that's what we eat in a day. I will talk to you guys later. If you like these videos, like and subscribe. And if you don't like them,
we don't care.
We don't care at all. But feel free to ask us questions and stuff.
In fact, if you don't like us, unsubscribe immediately.
Yeah, go away.
Thank you.
Go away.